Welcome, everyone. This is our regular weekly catch up where we talk about all things trekking in Nepal. I'm one of your hosts, Michelle Hill, and I'm joined by my good friend and colleague, Dinesh Karki.
Namaste.
Um, Today, we're going to talk about trekking safety and how Dinesh and the team at Nature Explore Trek can make sure that your adventure is safe and that you succeed with your trek and you leave Nepal with all of your bucket list items ticked. So just to quickly introduce myself, I first came to Nepal in 2015, not ever having done more than a half a day hike. So a trek to Everest Base Camp was kind of like a pretty big challenge for me. And it turned out to be probably almost more of a mental challenge than a physical challenge. But it really opened my eyes to how doing something like that can really change your perspective on things. And really, for me, it kickstarted my personal development journey. And I've continued on and gone on various adventures since. But I'm just going to hand over to Dinesh now so he can introduce himself and tell us a little bit about his background and experience. And then we will dive into today's topic.
Thank you, Michelle. Good morning, everyone from Kathmandu. Well, those who doesn't know myself or my name, I'm Dinesh, as already Michelle mentioned. I'm from the eastern part of Nepal, where Mount Everest is located. I started, I involved in this sector since my early age as 14. And before I accomplished as a Dinesh Karki guide or nature explorer owner, I spent more than 22 years in this field, involving in so many different sector of experience, like porter, like 7, 8 years, and then helping in different sector, and then finally became a guide and trekking the groups and all over the Nepal, including popular destinations like Everest, Annapurna, Langchang, many more. And then since from 2015, we established our Nature Explore Trek, where Michelle and I met with my friend. We established with our friend. Now we already around 10 years, and we have found we meet like more than thousands of people from all around the world, and we are serving the service and doing that totally different than other agency in Kathmandu, because we are from the field. We're not from the chair who will sit and then come to the online. We have deep experience in the field, and then finally we are just serving the service here. So that means that's the reason today we have like a very good news. It's all everyone, most of our clients are happy, and they leave the good feedback in our different social medias like TripAdvisor, Google reviews, or many more. So that means we are very supportive for our clients, and we're very happy. And also, I would like to add, during this journey, I also have chance to visit few other countries in Europe a couple of times, and Asia like Korea, Japan, yeah, India, of course, as our neighbors, and Tibet. And we also have a good experience of organizing big trips like Mount Kailash, pilgrims trips, big groups. There are more than 50, 70, 80 even. And also we have another one of the memorable and experience, and then adventure trek. We also organized the biggest trip from eastern part to west part of Nepal. This is called GST, means Great Himalayan Trail Trek. And it's not usual, not cannot do normal people, because of it is one of the biggest trip. And also you have to cross so many high passes, and many days, of course. It's like five, even more than 5 months. And during this walk, you will cross 1,800 kilometers, including like more than 20 high passes of over 6,000, and then uncountable of 5,000 passes. Whatever, this is one of the biggest trip, and that we also succeed. Normally, other people, other agency also do that, but they're not success like us, because all it comes from our expert team, not only myself. It is all this done by our staff and organized by myself. That's a proud moment anyway. So I want to just tell this now, and then if anything need, I will add more. You can just always knock us through the website.
Thank you so much, Dinesh. So, as I said, today we're going to talk about trekking safety and how the team at Nature Explore Trekking will make sure that your trip is safe. And one of the first things that I think we should talk about, because this is something that comes up for a lot of people, is staying safe during high altitude treks, like, for example, Manaslu Circuit, which is 5,200 at the height.
5,000, nearly 2,000, yes. 5,100
Yeah,
and 30
yeah,
meter high.
yeah. So what do you do to make sure that people are safe at high altitudes?
Yeah, for if while when you go to such a trip like a Manaslu Circuit or any other long trips, for safe from the altitude, you must have to be prepared very well from your beginning of the plan. Physically and mentally is the most important. So let's say at least 3 or 4 months, you have to prepare by your normal exercise like walking, running, and getting fit and size. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like not in the size, and then do the some breathing training, like breath when we're going in the higher section of the trek. Of course, we will
Yeah,
have less oxygen in our body. That means if we are well trainer, we can adopt that, even that part also, the uh,
yeah,
some oxygen for our body, whatever we need. So first preparation is from your home, and then second, when you are on the field, when you are on a spot starting your trek, you must have to considering to drink a lot of waters, and then you have to go very slowly, and then not run like in one day like 1,000 meter to 15,000, like sorry, 1,500 meter in one day. Go very
yeah.
slowly, plan very good, and then normally I usually start after 2,500 meter. So before 2,500 meter, you don't have difficult feel, but when you cross 2,500 and then above the tree levels, and then you will feel it. Drink more water, walk slow, and then do acclimatize, then make proper plan, and then make a comfortable itinerary, no rush. Then that's normal to avoid the altitude. And then if you wish to smoke or drink alcohol, don't drink it when you are going up.
Mm.
And then you also have to be what's in the food. Don't eat the like of cheeses and oily food, and then sometimes meat in the mountain, as there is no refrigerator to store
Right.
meat. They transport from the lower part of the trek to the higher part, and then they store for a long time. But when
Mm.
you finish your trek, when you reach under your last trekking destination on top of the mountains or hill, and then coming down, no problem, you can have it. And
Yeah,
then I'm also mentioning some symptoms. So let's say if you receive some symptoms of high altitude, first you will feel headaches, not appetite, and less energetic, of course, tiredness, vomiting, and headache, especially in the backside. These are the symptoms. But if you don't tell your guide and your partners, if you're with group or alone,
mm,
you have to tell with your guide. And then next, if you or what are the questions? Let's say if you have altitude, then what we do now? In this case, the first medicine is you coming down at least 400 to 500 meters down from where you are, and then we
so
give
that would
some rest.
that would be the emergency protocol that you would implement as soon as you understood that someone was suffering from that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then if not better, then we will do the last evacuation, evacuate to the nearest hospital, because of your
Right.
life is most important than trekking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And one thing I was just going to add there too, we do talk about this quite often, but you did talk about just taking things slow and going at your own pace. So we are very flexible with our itineraries. So for somebody who's a little bit unsure or worried that they might not be able to keep up or go at the same pace,
Mhm.
the options are you can do a trek by yourself with a guide and a porter, or we can extend the itinerary out by a day or two. So it just gives you that buffer of, if you do end up going a little bit more slowly, or you have a day that really tires you out, that you've got some time built in there so you can have like a half day rest or even a full day rest. before you continue on. So you mentioned too about the symptoms of altitude sickness. So from the point of view of like yourself and your guides, like you'd be keeping an eye out to see if you could like determine if someone was getting sick, because some of the symptoms are quite easy for you guys to spot, I would imagine.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So that's as I'm already told, like
Yeah.
the symptoms is always different. Some
Yeah.
people have receives different symptoms. Some people receive the different symptoms. But the
Yeah.
general I mentioned already. So,
Yeah.
but when you have this kind of symptoms, you have to let your guide or your friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, don't just sort of think, oh, maybe I'm getting a bit of the flu or I'll feel better in the morning. It's there's no such thing as a silly comment or a silly question about, hey, I'm feeling this. Is that normal, or am I getting sick or whatever? Because it's better that everybody knows rather than you try and just struggle through it by yourself and think, I'll feel better in the morning.
Yeah.
Um, and the other thing that I wanted to talk about too was, as part of the safety, is the good partnership that you and your team have with all the local communities that we trek through, and how that helps with safety of the people on the trek.
Yeah, safety is the most important things when you are going such a process, especially. So yeah, for this part, you have to follow your guide, and then
Yeah,
of course the guide will let you know the which part, which section of the trek is difficult, and where you need to watch it clearly, where you need to considering. So these are very important. And safety and security is the most important things. And like security means if you are not with a trusted person or trekking companies, you can also lose your things. Might be safety, or they don't have an idea to control your trekking, or not enough information, not provided information. So, and this is very important when you're going with your experienced guide, like who have been doing such a trip or such a organized many years. So, of course, you will be safe with your hands. And of course, as Michelle mentions, we have been doing this last 25 years almost now. And we are, yeah, until today, as I already mentioned, until today we are doing good, and we have a very expertise team who are from mountain region, and
mm,
we learn from Porter as we're carrying supporting people bags to being a guide now. That means they have a lot of they spend long time in this sector and learn so much things. They know how to take care of our clients and how to provide the good service, including the safety and security,
yeah,
especially in high passes when you ascending and descending. It's more very important and very dangerous also, if you are not with the good guide and team. So this part, you need to give your our hands as a guide, or you need to also tell you good informations, or we need to also guiding you very well to how to walk or how to move in the slippery rocks or ice. And then we also provide such gears, like if they, let's say, if in some high passes there's ice and crevasses, anything that we will also provide some equipments like rope, ice axe, or helmets. These are very important to save our life. So
yeah,
if needed, that's everything we brief in the departure meeting, that
yeah.
which helps the people for make a more confidence.
Okay, thank you
Yeah.
for that. And I might call it a day at that, because I can hear in your voice that you're struggling a little bit. So thank you so much for sharing all that knowledge with us today.
Yeah.
And
So yeah.
next week, what we're going to take a little bit of a, not so much a behind the scenes look, but when you actually purchase a trek, and you pay like one sum to Dinesh and the team. Let's break down like what is covered in that, and the things that they're organizing for you behind the scenes, and how they make things seamless for you, because like you just pay one sum to them, but then they've got to organize permits and transportation and accommodation and all sorts of different things, and then they manage that for you. So if that's of interest to you to find out how that all works behind the scenes, make sure you join us next week. Thank
Yeah.
you so much and namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.